phor, back for more to kick the raw, represent everyone's you and I verse. We're gonna do a video on the moon in Capricorn, sun in Gemini. I'm gonna switch this fan out so it don't look like an upside down star, feel me?
Conscious in pursuit of president, speaking dollars since my president, elevated over the president, going better than it's ever been. A young American galley, how we swiftly mix with recipes in the crescent. How I read, found myself.
With the vision.
Elemental, periodic verse, hidden inside 47. You'll be astonished, chronic,
smoking out my lungs, pack a punch. That's how we make my eyes bleed. Broken vision, pixel my elemental malice, merit, path, chalice, green, make my charms balance. Truly wanna lady, but I'm blessed. Truly wanna thank ya. Truly wanna thank ya to my creator, Memakati. Love renaissance to the fullest, it's all love from up above. Switching lanes, gripping on the wheel again to the fifth dimension. Face a whole 7 in a sit-in. Indian style do, gripping blood united too. But don't pass, trump the blood, fool. Shots of this killer concerts, inspire me to drop the bomb first. I'm these bitch bending leaders, indigo, the truly golden leaders. But it's gangland, so grab your heater. Cold as Alaska, we all march to these martial law pursuers. Another day by police saw an interracial beef. Ground in the melting pot, divide and conquer. How they plan to feast. Y'all can check that music video out. It's on my page called Third Person. Shout out to Lo-Fi, and Lo-Fi Corner. I'm saying he had the album as well, but that individually was 808 Trail. So yeah. Like I say, that's Third Person. Y'all can check that out on my page. And we got the moon in Capricorn right now and the sun in Gemini, right? We just entered the Gemini season, so happy birthday. Happy flight day to all y'all Geminis, you know what I'm saying? Happy days, you know what I'm saying? If you want it to be, you feel me? Gemini be all in the mind, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's either you scatterbrain or you on the right kind of page and you know where you're going and things like that. So it's all about the ideas and the ideals of this time, you know what I'm saying? So we're building an ideal. You know what I'm saying? So based on the ideal you're building, it could be destructive or a beneficial building and things like that. Depends on what kind of building you're building based on the ideal and things like that. You feel me? So yeah, keep in mind, based on the alignments, we got the moon trining Mercury, based on the Mercury and being in Taurus. We also have the moon trining Uranus, because Uranus is in Taurus as well. You know what I'm saying? And then we got Jupiter cusping into Gemini right now and things like that. So it's going to be conjuncting the sun, but it's going to be trining the moon. You know what I'm saying? Whenever the moon finishes up in Capricorn at the late degrees and things like that. So we got the moon cusping from Taurus into Gemini. Pardon me, we got the Jupiter cusping from Taurus into Gemini right now. We got the moon in Capricorn, right? So we're going to be initiating, creating a status, you know what I'm saying, based on the moon in Capricorn. But based on that moon in Capricorn, we're gonna have we're gonna create an opportunity to communicate about that status and things like that. If it's logical and practical, and you could logisticalize that ideal and things like that. Think about Uranus, you know what I'm saying. So Uranus is unexpected change and a lightning-like change, right? So essentially it's rebelling and opposing against something and things like that. So based on rebelling and opposing something, it has to go against, you know what I'm saying, some kind of mainstream or stream of consciousness and things like that. So at this point in time, we're going to create the opportunity to be that individual, you know what I'm saying, to go against the grain and things like that. But keep in mind, the moon in Capricorn is debilitated, so it's at work here and things like that. So we have to utilize whatever is at hand to actually manifest whatever is necessary with this moon in Capricorn to actually build and things like that. So essentially, the moon in Capricorn is like you having to go to work. You're like, dang, like I kind of just want to lay in my bed and things like that. I want to be in the Cancer energy, but you know that you have to utilize the opposition of Cancer. You know what I'm saying? Opposite of comfort would be that Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? Opposite of Cancer is Capricorn. So it's like you got to go to work, and you know what I'm saying, you got to be the boss and things like that of your own experience and things like that. So keep that in mind. And then also, we have the moon trining Lilith, you know what I'm saying? Because we got moon in Capricorn and then Lilith the mean in Virgo. So it's that darkest moment, you know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, based on you building what you're building and things like that, building that ideal, you're going to have this opportunity that you create based on Lilith being in Virgo. So based on the detail of whatever you're bringing to the forefront of whatever you're building, you're going to create that opportunity to bring that to, you know what I'm saying, bring that darkest moment to light and things like that. And then moving forward, we also have the moon in Capricorn sextiling Saturn in Pisces. And we have Neptune also in Pisces. So we're going to see the opportunity based on the sixth house, 60-degree angle. We got I'm saying seeing the opportunity based on Saturn. So seeing the opportunity to restrict one's dreams, illusions, and nightmares based on what one is building. I'm saying you have to keep in mind that whatever you focus on, you're going to actually continue to build on that aspect and things like that. So I'm saying you don't want to be too scatterbrained at this point in time. You want to actually align that that dream and that illusion that you're I'm saying restricting for I'm saying or whatever dream you're building towards. I'm saying Saturn being that building. I'm saying at this point in time, well, not at this point in time, but all the time, Saturn is at home in Capricorn. So keep in mind that this moon in Capricorn is a beneficial time for that Saturn. So you're seeing the opportunity to restrict whatever's necessary to actually build. And keep in mind that we also have Neptune being in Pisces. I almost said Neptune. Yeah, Neptune being in Pisces. So it's seeing the opportunity for it to build towards the dream as well. You know what I'm saying? So Neptune is at home in Pisces. And last but not least, we have the moon conjunct the sun. Pardon me, I almost said the moon conjunct the sun. But yes, it's a 150-degree angle based on Capricorn and Gemini. So the moon is going to misunderstand the sun. So we're going to misunderstand whatever we're building based on these ideologies and things like that. So Gemini is that two-sided thing, and Gemini and Capricorn's that building on focusing on one thing at a time and things like that. So essentially, we're going to misunderstand our emotion because we want to have multiple different things going on at one point in time. So essentially, you want to generalize, you want to laser one's focus. You know what I'm saying? You want to utilize your laser focus. You know what I'm saying? And also keep in mind we have the waning moon right now in Capricorn. So essentially, we just had the full moon in Sagittarius, and now the moon is going to continue to wane now in Capricorn. We're going to see what we actually need to shed based on the building that we are. I'm gonna move my operation into a different space, maybe. Oh, that might make a difference. Yeah, all right. Like I said, the moon in Capricorn, right? So it's building on the personal affair, and that's what's going to be in the emotional realm and things like that. So essentially, the moon in Capricorn is that debilitated space. So you're working with whatever you got in your personal life to make oneself comfortable. I don't know what's going down. Yeah, shoot. About to take the operation outside. Because it's playing with me. I don't know why it's playing with me right now. It's wild. Actually, you know what? We about to just post up right here. It seemed like the connection's cool here. I'm not finna go outside with the mosquitoes. But yeah, let me go grab my little template. You know what I'm saying? 1 second. It's got me messed up. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. All right, yeah. So getting back to where it was at. We started off with Capricorn and we going through the rising signs and things like that. So yeah, Capricorn in the first house, the personal affair and the individuality. So essentially, based on this energy at this point in time, the emotions of one's individuality is what one is dealing with. So essentially, you have to work with what you got, you know what I'm saying, essentially in your personal life to make oneself comfortable. And also the emotions that you've accumulated up to this point in time, you may also need to shed certain things about your personal life based on the waning moon. So now moving forward, right? So Sagittarius rising has Capricorn in the second house. So Capricorn in the second house is the values of a person, place, thing, idea. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind that you're going to be building on these values. So essentially building on whatever value system that you've accumulated at this point in time. So Sagittarius, right, is all about the expansion and things like that. So keep in mind that whatever you've expanded based on the full moon and whatever you felt satisfied with, you now need to protect that. You know what I'm saying? Based on the waning cycle, that's just the protection aspect of things and things like that. You don't want to go out and try to do new things. You want to protect what you've already accumulated and things of that nature. So essentially, you want to keep on building and standing on that business. You know what I'm saying? Sagittarius, just keep on standing on your value system and also continue to keep in mind that you got to work with what you got based on, like I say, Capricorn being debilitated in the moon sign. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in time, the values that you're utilizing and things like that, you may feel, oh, dang, like this isn't exactly what I want to work with. This isn't the building system that I see it as, and things like that. This might not be, you might not actually see, you know what I'm saying, based on the sextiles to Saturn and Neptune, the actual dream that you're accumulating at this point in time. You may only see a glimpse of it and things of that nature. So keep in mind that your value system, if it is something that you can build on and essentially take power and control over, and that's essentially what is necessary based on the second house, right? So the third house in Capricorn, which is the Scorpio rising, this is the sextile, you know what I'm saying? So this is seeing an opportunity. So seeing the opportunity in your environment to build. And that's what the Scorpio's essentially going through right now. So they're seeing the opportunity of what emotions they can utilize and what things they can build on based on their environment. So you're going to be communicating your environment at this point in time. And keep in mind that just because it's a sextile isn't always a positive circumstance. So it may be seeing the opportunity to have this conversation about what has been built or what's maybe been built behind the scenes based on you maybe being a Scorpio rising, I'm saying, for example. So that's like how the sextile will play out for this circumstance. So seeing the personal opportunity to communicate in the environment is what the Scorpio's got going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. I got a lot of people on the late night views, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Taking a late flight, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out Joe Little Pilot, man, you know what I'm saying? The one of the original teachers of the astrology that I got introduced to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Aries. That's all I got to say about it. Once you know who you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? I taught by Aries, so ain't nothing you can fly by me and act like I don't know about, you know what I'm saying? So we know everything over here, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So commercial breakover. We got Libra being in the fourth house. So pardon me, Libra having Capricorn in the fourth house. So it's a square at this point in time. So the Libra has to learn on what to build upon, essentially kind of keep the mouth closed and do more of the actual work at this point in time is what the Libra has to learn to do. Libra has to learn to keep their mouth closed and actually learn to build on what is in the private and what is close to one's heart and things like that. So essentially, you don't want to keep your mouth yapping about what you actually want to build on and things like that because people are going to try to destroy your building. Libra happens to learn this quick and things like that if you got Libra in the sun sign. Well, Libra rising is a little bit different because you always want to find that balance and things like that. So essentially, you have to learn that everything can't be balanced whenever you're actually building whatever you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, implement into the world and things like that. You just kind of got to take your place. So the Libra is kind of learning on what the blueprint is and how to work towards the blueprint and learning to be less talkative and more about doing it. So essentially, you have to work with what is close to one's heart and what you got close to your heart to actually build on what you got going on and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Based on it being in the fourth house. And Virgo rising, moving forward, is having the fifth house in Capricorn, so it's a trine, 120-degree angle. So the expression or childlike nature is what the Virgo is dealing with at this point in time. So they're creating an opportunity to communicate or build on what they've actually communicated about in the past. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, they're communicating about what they need to shed or creating the opportunity. Okay, is this actually beneficial for the building and things like that? So Virgo has a beneficial circumstance whenever it comes to Capricorn, but keep in mind, like I say, the moon is debilitated here. So essentially, whatever expression that you have accumulated up to this point in time, you have to utilize that to actually get this point across and things like that, and create this opportunity. So don't be trying to go and do too much. You know what I'm saying? Don't be utilizing the trying too much to the point that you are creating an opportunity in this expression that you're expressing too much. You're not actually building on what is beneficial and you're not having to focus. Like I say, focus is what is necessary based on the moon not doing too well in Capricorn. So moving forward, the Leo rising is having the sixth house in Capricorn, so it's an in conjunction or a misunderstanding. So the Leo misunderstands that they actually have to be in the building or work with the people in the building to actually be on the stage and shine. So essentially, the routine and pattern and the actual way that a Leo goes about one's health and things like that. I wanted to say individuality, but it's more like the individual health pattern and things like that. That's the way that I could articulate it, because essentially at this point in time, the Leo believes that no matter what, wherever they go, the everything should, I'm saying, revolve around them essentially. And the Leo has to find out that they misunderstand things. They may be in a circumstance where they have to go towards building something else to actually build one's own stage and things like that. So essentially, at this point in time, the Leo is seeing what in their routine and pattern they have to shed to actually go towards, I'm saying, accumulating this dream and building the building. And essentially, whatever ideal, I'm saying, based on their having the 11th house being in Gemini, they're also having that sextile to the Gemini sun. So the Leo, I'm saying, just give you, I don't know, I just felt like giving Leo a little bit extra, I'm saying, a little bit extra sauce on at this point in time because they got the Gemini in the 11th house. So the Leo is seeing the opportunity in the 11th house on what to associate with. And based on that association, they're kind of misunderstanding. Like, is this association something that I can actually build with or build on? Or is it, I'm saying, non-beneficial? Like, will they actually help build the stage and things like that? And like, well, is this actually a stage that I could go visit? Is this a public space that I could be in and things of that nature? So essentially, the Leo kind of has to see what is the most beneficial thing to prioritize and focus on at this point in time and put on their routine and pattern. And moving forward, the Cancer rising is having the seventh house in Capricorn. So the seventh house is all about relationships and relating. And based on it being a 180-degree angle, you can it's going to be adding on or opposing. You know what I'm saying, based on it being the opposition. So Cancer can either care for, you know what I'm saying, based on the relationship. They can care for the relationship to build on the relationship, or they can be opposed to it and things like that and care for oneself at this point in time and take some time for oneself or some me time. You feel me? And so essentially, the Cancer is on either side of the spectrum. I'm saying they're either adding on or they're opposing based on the circumstance, and essentially whatever is being built in the on the relationship. So it's either, like I say, you're having an ideal that you actually want to build on, or an ideal that you oppose. And moving forward, the Gemini rising is obviously having the first house in the sun. You're saying that the sun is in their first house, but based on the eighth house, I'm saying, being a Capricorn, they're having this misunderstanding or this in conjunction. So the eighth house is all about transformation, behind the scenes, secrets, and also rebirth or the Phoenix energy. So essentially, at this point in time, the Gemini has to transform things to actually put the right thing on the forefront to actually build on whatever's necessary to come out as that Phoenix. And then whenever the moon goes into Sagittarius, you know, saying, and things like that, they then have that opposition and they can, you know, saying, see what they're relating to. Moving forward, the Taurus is having the ninth house in Capricorn. So the ninth house is all about knowledge, wisdom, experience, morality, traveling within the mind, or also traveling externally, one of the two. I'm saying, or you could also, you know, say you kind of daydream while you're driving. Not exactly the best thing to do, but you know, saying things something you could do based on the ninth house being here. So the ninth house, like I say, being in Capricorn, is creating the opportunity based on the trine. So you have that 120-degree angle. So you're creating the opportunity in your experience or your moral system to build on whatever experience that you're having, I'm saying, or whatever you want to, you know, saying you have a idea of where you want to travel and things like that in the future, or you already have an idea of, okay, if I travel here, I can build on my status and things like that, or build on the ideals that I've already had my eyes fixed upon. I'm saying Taurus being the fixed sign. And moving forward, Aries having the 10th house in Capricorn. I'm saying it's a square. So this 10th house is all about status, the career, and what you're known for. So essentially, the Aries has to prioritize one's status and see what's best for one's business and things like that. So Aries, at this point in time, the Aries has to learn what the business to stand on, essentially. And that's what they got going on. So essentially, whatever is most beneficial for you to take power and control of your life, that's what status or career you want to be attached to. If you're just kind of building your blueprint and things like that. But if you've already had the blueprint already in mind, then you're just at this point in time learning what is necessary to continue to build that. And then moving forward, Pisces rising is having the 11th house being in Capricorn. So it's all about the sextile or seeing the opportunity in the association. So the Capricorn in the 11th house for the Pisces personally sees what opportunity to take, you know what I'm saying, based on the 11th house in their first house being in Pisces, the 11th house in Capricorn, part of being the first house in Pisces. whatever associate or association that the Pisces is dealing with, they're seeing that opportunity at this point in time. So whatever associate or public place, pardon me, associate or association or public space that one is in, that's what essentially what one is dealing with for the Pisces at this point in time. So seeing the opportunity in your association for what to build on based on that associate. And last but not least, the Aquarius rising is having the 12th house in Capricorn. So essentially, it's the dreams, illusions, and nightmares, essentially, at this point in time, or the endings. So essentially, the Capricorn in the 12th house for the Aquarius deciding what building to end or what ideal they need to end associating with and saying, dealing with, and things like that. Or based on the dreams, they're seeing what dream they need to build on or what they need to build on to actually accumulate this dream in reality. And thank y'all for bearing with me. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of odd for a little second. I was like, dag, like where I generally stream at, it's not popping. It's not popping off. So I'm glad y'all bear with me, and thank you for bearing with me through the little transition point, things like that, of going from the other room to this room and things like that. I thought I was gonna have to go outside with the mosquitoes and all that. You know what I'm saying, but yeah, keep in mind at this point in time, you're building on the ideals or idealistic energy. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you find to be most beneficial or the most beneficial thought process at this point in time is what you're going to be working with based on the Gemini sun. So the Gemini sun, you're going to see the ideals or the idealistic energy or whatever you've created in your mind to see both sides of things. You know what I'm saying? So like in every story, there's one side of the story, then there's the other side of the story, then there's actual truth, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the Gemini and things like that. And that's why the Gemini talks a whole lot, but they also are able to listen a whole lot if they're a higher octave Gemini. So essentially, like I'm saying, all that to be said, the Gemini sun at this point in time, we're going to see what kind of communications or what ideals are going to be put to the forefront and what we actually need to wane to build on what we're saying, what we've accumulated based on the full moon in Sagittarius. So yeah, much love and holla back at me. You can holla at me in my email, and the email's in the description. If you're looking for a reading, if you had any questions about the live stream or questions about astrology or questions on my channel. With that being said, if you were looking to get an astrological chart and things like that and specify all of these alignments for oneself, I have a menu and things like that that you can tap in with. And whenever you email me, I'll go ahead and email you back the little menu, and you could choose I'm saying what kind of reading you want, things like that. I got all different selections. So yeah, like I say, much love and holla back at me. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and bear with me. That was kind of interesting for a little second. But yeah, with all that being said, stay safe or stay dangerous whenever it's necessary. You feel me? Yeah, much love and holla back. Peace.